Okay.
That was good. That was good. That was good. You said somewhere near the flag. That was short of it. I was like, I'm going to get short of this thing. In today's video, I am going to be talking about 3 golf lessons that I went for. This video will break down the 3 components from each of those teachers that drew me to them first, kept me there too, and made me trust that they were the choices that I wanted to see when it came to going to elite golf coaches.
Soft, soft, soft,
Yes.
soft elbow, soft everything.
That's key. That's key. Your golf coach is a massive part of your journey. The off season is coming. Now is the time to take hold of your golf game and actually build on the foundations and get it right as we hit the new season. Don't sleep on the golf game all winter. This is your best opportunity to move it forward. And this video is your roadmap to help you choose the right coach for you. Dive into it. Maybe you can learn from some of the pointers I got. All the videos are available on this YouTube channel. And as always, hit me in the comments if you've got anything to ask me, and hit subscribe for more great golf content. The off season is upon us, which means you're going to need to work on your golf games. In order to do that, as I've discussed many times, data's going to help you. Now's the time to be focusing on what you do and to be taking your game to a place as to how you can improve it. So you're going to need practice routines now, you're going to need scheduling, and you're going to need to self-diagnose, or, which is what this video is all about, seek out a golf coach who's right for your game. How do you make that choice? And then once you've made it, what things do you like about them? I visited over the last 12, 15 months, 3 significant golf coaches. One, because I saw a dip in my own form around the greens. So I went to see 2 short game coaches. One in Parkland McLaughlin, a PGA Tour winner, the short game chef. And we covered various things there. 2 in Derek Deminsky, a young up-and-coming coach out in Tucson who had some different viewpoints to chipping. Talks about his toolbox and what he thinks he needs to get a player chipping at their best. He's also worked with tour players on the European Tour, the DP World, and the PGA Tour. He's given Max Homer some guidance and some lessons on his short game. So tour validation is definitely something I look for when it comes to a short gamer. Then we've got the long game. And again, we went out to Arizona and we met up with Martin Chuck, not really knowing what to expect. But that introduction to him came about because of Tour Striker, the powerhouse that he's got when it comes to the smart ball and other training aids. That intrigued me to see what he had going on. Then it leads you into a golf lesson with a guy, and it felt to me like going back to some earlier lessons that I would have had in my golfing journey and how it's handled and how it's managed. And it made me realize that a tour level coach, which Martin Chuck has worked with, the Mike Weirs, the Darren Clarks of this world, once you get that experience is timeless. Yes, he uses tech, but if you dive into that golf lesson, it really went to the root of me as a player. And that was one of the things that I've maybe lost connection with in terms of wanting to play the game and improve the game. I've headed out to the desert to get a golf lesson with no other than Martin Chuck. Martin Chuck is one of the top coaches in America. He's also the founder of Tour Striker. Some of the best players in the world like Cameron Smith or Hideki Matsuyama or Justin Rose all benefit from these great products that Martin has created.
What club you got in your hands, buddy?
Just an 8.
Now, what does the player want to feel? Is it just tight draws?
Yeah.
When you get nervous, does that club dump behind you a bit too much?
Yeah.
You know, so this is where the coach and the student kind of work together to say, what is it we're trying to work toward?
Okay.
Okay, because I don't know your emotional state when you play.
Yeah.
But here's
Unstable.
the thing too. Unstable, right? But here's the thing, like, so lessons are different, right? I have lots of people come in here. I'm literally teaching them how to put nice hands on a club.
Yeah.
I'm showing them how to walk into a golf ball. You come in flushing it, okay?
Yeah.
Push draw, gorgeous, maybe baby pulls. I'm like, damn, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's as good as anybody. Can you make your choice? Can you choose your routine? Can you go and execute like a woman, like a man? Be proud of that moment, execute the shot, right?
Play the game.
The outcome is the outcome, man, okay? Now, as a coach-student relationship, you got a very good golf swing. We can talk as a coach now, hey, when you get in the canyon course and there's a situation there, there's a couple of feels that a lot of good players will go to. They've got their kind of not optimized, yeah, squeezer. Like it goes out there 275, 280 for your speed. It'll be fine. It's not your par 5, let her rip, high bomb.
100%.
See what I mean?
That's the journey I'm on.
Yeah. So if you want to, playing the game, right? Learning how to play when you're puking, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Learn how to play.
Yeah.
Recognize your state.
Yeah.
Are you freaking? Good. I'm freaking out. That's fantastic.
So it's low squeeze club.
Because if I'm not if I'm not freaking out, then I'm not alive.
Yeah.
So as a coach, I want you to be alive. I want you to be like, let's go. I got a squeezy fade here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe you nut it and it goes to it. It's perfect shot. Great shot, Trottie.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows. I mean, I'd love to say you could send a high draw down every fairway every single time. That's lying, because we're not in the state to do that every time.
Yeah.
There's a technique component, and then there's a really big component on and being okay. I always say you're not going to die when you hit a golf shot. You might feel a little bit of you died, but you're not going to die. Okay, you're going to have a good, indifferent, or poor result. Your dog doesn't care. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. Now, can you live with the fact that you're going to have one of three outcomes, and then man up and go through your routine and accept the outcome?
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not. It's like so people are so terrified of the outcome, they just can't go through the correct process.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, once you make your mind up that you're going to hit a shot, hit the bloody shot you intend to hit. Do you think I'm going to rebuild Adam Scott's golf swing? No, of course not. I might say to him, hey, let's look at your range of motion now that you're not 28 anymore. Let's look at a couple things that can help you score better. Landing angle, maybe some spin. Might come to, hey, let me pull in your Tour Tech guy for a second, make sure landing angles are right, spin numbers are correct. Okay, let's talk about what fears you have on the golf course. Let's get in the cart. Let's go to a hole right now. Let me see you tee up a couple.
Yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah.
Different coaching, different state, right? Last look, take one look, ball go. Really good. I want your last look to be like target, ball go. My big thing is your checklist of things to do in golf should be over by the time you get to the golf ball. Not starting. They should be over.
Taking a golf coach like Martin, who simplifies it and brings it back to you and how to play golf. It truly reignited, after candidly I've had a period off playing golf, it reignited the essence of the game. Is about enjoyment, it's about hitting good golf shots, it's about being excited to hit those golf shots, but it's also about understanding and perhaps giving yourself a pat on the back that where you've been and everything you've learned puts you in a good place. So Martin's view on the long game is holistic. The game overall is holistic. And I really think that it was more like chatting to a coach rather than getting what is so readily available today, which is take the pill and you'll get better. Shallow the golf club because that's the trend. Turn because that's the trend. Look at wrist conditions because that's what's trending. No, I think Martin looks at what you have in your DNA as a golfer, which is such a great thing to look for in your golf coach, and then modifies and tweaks it for you. It's catered for you, the individual, for you to get better. And don't measure yourself against things that aren't right to measure you against, but really go on what can be measured in the right way for you. And that's, again, where his training aids are great, because he only gives you, if you notice in that video that I did with him, he only really used his own toolbox with alignment and various tools in there, a launch monitor that was factual, which, again, I think if you're out there watching this looking for a golf coach, it's got to be factual. One of the things that struck me was his calm demeanor, how he spoke about, I came in with a problem, I felt I was out to win. He completely got rid of that myth straight away. I'm not seeing any of that today. I think were his words in there. And if you look at the launch monitor data that he was offering me, I don't see any of that. And then it was, do you know how to flight a golf ball? Do you still know how to hit a ball in play and play the game? All things that I think if someone else had gone for a golf lesson with him, they might not have received that information. But for me, it was like, no, what am I going to teach you? Like, realize you're a good player. So boosting the confidence up, which I think was very tailored for me. And I think, again, if you're out there looking for a golf coach, tour validation is massive. I really think if you want to work with a fitter, if you want to work with a golf coach who's young and up and coming, how much stuff are they, how connected are they to the tour? Do they have a social media presence? I think now is how you find them. So can you see their style? Derek Deminsky, as we start to talk about him out there in Tucson, he's very active on social media. So you start to see what he believes in. Do you understand what he believes in? Do you think if you're going to go and spend money with this person, are they going to make a difference, or can you do it remotely? And Derek very much talks about, this is why I prefer people to come and see me in person, because I can get hands-on and I can show you what you need to do. I've come all the way to Max Homer's short game coach. Got Max sorted out, got my good friend Maria chipping it decent. Now, hopefully, you can help me. You've got a task on your hands here.
I'm excited. I got a player on my hands here. Let's check it out.
You got a task.
I do. I always got a task. For a lot of times too, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Most people like yourself have had some success, but then what tends to happen for anyone is you almost get that success coached out of you and kind of get told like, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. When a lot of times people say, hey, when I was a kid, man, I was using my hands and all that. Guess what, dude? Educated hands, what does Tiger say about educated hands?
He says it's all in there.
Absolutely, dude, it's all hands. I know you have, that's why I've asked you that.
The guy just looks at me and puts his hands in my face and says it's all in here.
You know how much those hands are worth?
But I'm like, dude, I'm struggling, I need more than that. And he
So
says,
I gotta educate your hands. That's my job. That's why I like getting hands on, so I can show you what you need to do. What I tell everyone who gets a lesson from me, if I recommend something, I better tell you exactly why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna say random stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, here's why we'd consider this.
Yeah.
Here's why this doesn't matter. Here's why this does matter.
Yeah. And then I'm like, where the hell did that
so
come
that's
from?
so what a lot of your misses right now are common for, again, any way can work. But for you, right, you kind of get pretty wide and then we'll kind of release the club, which for a stock shot, you don't have to do that. Like if I'm going to try to hit this, if I'm going to try to hit that ball right there, right, because we're just working on stock shot, right? So I would call what we're doing here ball first.
Yeah.
Right? And in my opinion, you want to go ball first and you want to have ground first. You want to have both skills. You don't want them to mix and match. So if I was just going to hit that ball here, right, I'm not necessarily trying to use the bounce per se, right? My pattern is slightly wide, slightly draw, but I use my body very well. And here I'm not trying to release the shaft.
But you're hitting it a lot higher in the blade than I am.
Well, so this is, yeah. So this is my 60, but it's like, I'm gonna beat up that spot all day.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that was hit way before.
So that's wide hooky.
That was what I was trying to
You're
do.
wide and hooky, which honestly, I don't know if that's a good fit for you, Trottie.
I'm pretty certain it's not.
So here, I'm gonna open the face a little. I'm gonna be more wristy. I'm gonna hit the ground half an inch behind the ball, and I'm gonna let the shaft swing.
You see, so when you said you want to hit this ground first, I thought that was wide.
The ones that you see typically do it successfully are ones that have historically always done it. Stricker day. They weren't really necessarily taught to do it. Same for me. That was how it's worked for me. Same thing here. Watch this. I'll hit half an inch behind it, a little bit of wrists, hammering the ground. How's that?
Lovely. So it's there, no shaft lean. Grip it as soft as you freaking can. Yeah, leave that puppy there. And then there. I mean, that's just hit with so much more confidence.
I'm a big proponent of, I'm feeling the movement, walk in, go. Like no real delay. Feel the movement, feel the movement. What'll happen is they'll feel it and they kind of get in here and they just kind of overthink it in a sense. And it's like, no. The start of my golf shot starts with my rehearsals. Now, same thing, statistically, do what works. If I couldn't use rehearsal strokes, and they're not just random practice strokes, but if I couldn't use rehearsal strokes, man, I feel like I'd be such a worse golfer. So my shot, especially like under pressure, I'm gonna feel the ground, one look, go, same feel. Real good. I thought you didn't spin it, bro.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good. This is just a shot you want to keep hitting.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Soft, soft, soft,
Yes.
soft elbow, soft everything.
Yeah. That's key. That's key. Soft, 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 soft is key.
Because if it gets firm, we start moving the handle. How sick was that?
That was good.
Let's go.
Soft, 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 soft.
Yeah, so that we can let it swing.
Another thing that struck me, having revisited the Derek Deminsky videos myself, we put it into 2 parts, trying to keep you, the YouTube viewer, in mind. But we very much covered a ball first strike point and a ground first strike point. They were Derek's things that he wanted me to take away from that lesson. You then end up with so many short game options that you've now got the start of your toolbox. Yes, you can modify, but you've got the start of something that you can carry to help you again as a golfer. I turned up lost, if truth be told, to that lesson. I mean, even if you watch it back, there were knives. And then I'm like, where the hell's that
so
come
that's
from?
so what?
The low point wasn't under control. I was catching ground early. And that was hit way before.
So that's a wide hooky.
There were flumps into the front. I told him, based on the questions and how he'd make me feel, I was able to be vulnerable and quickly say to him, this is where I'm at. These are the nightmares I've got. And he was like, really? You know, you could tell that he almost couldn't believe that. He's like, really? That's where you're at? Well, let's unlock who you are. Let's get your confidence back to where it is and belief in what you do back to where it is. You've been good enough to come here, but now let's make this about you. Even though there's a camera rolling, what do you need to get better? I've learned since leaving that Deminsky lesson that was now over, it was this time last year, so 12 months ago, I was thinking, do I need to take my own content back to seek out golf lessons? But what I've done, and this is a piece of advice from me for you, and I think we can do this in this day and age, set up the camera whenever you go for a golf lesson. Because the truth is, what those guys said there to me on that day is no different to what I need today. And I've watched that Deminsky ball first chipping lesson. I've watched that now maybe twice over since in the last 5 weeks. And I've worked on it, and then I'm able just to send a video out to Derek, and he's giving me the feedback on where he thinks I am at today. Because your golf game's always going to move, and it's always going to change. You have to manage it. So by recording the lessons, you're able to continue to manage what is needed that can then help you maintain it and get better. And then it brings me on to Parker. You've had so much success with Anna Norquist, Keith Mitchell, Colin Morikawa. I know you've worked with him to get, it's like you're a tour winner yourself, like the short game chef.
Hey, buddy.
Mate, I hate to say it, you need no introduction. Chipping has been a bit of a journey recently, holding a lot of anxiety there.
Setup is unbelievably important, right? So, you know, I will see a lot of people that will say like, oh, I'm trying to put 80% of my weight forward, but then they look like this, where their spine is sort of turned away, right?
Yeah.
It's just making sure that you're in a good spot with your body, your spine sort of stacked on top of it. And if you want to stack just a little bit here, that's fine. Feel and reel get so messed up. And so if someone tells you, hey, you got to get 80% of your weight forward, and you feel like you get 80% of your weight forward, but you look like this, doesn't do you any good.
Okay, so putting grip again, ball there. Let's try and make it. I think it actually breaks a bit the other way.
Yeah, I mean, that's really nice.
Well, the reason I like it though is I'm saying, I don't know if it's picking up quietly, but I'm like, let's try and make it. Like I feel, even just off this first stuff, I don't know if I'm meant to feel this, but I feel like I'm tapping back into my youth a little bit here. So speed's got to come out of this swing then.
Correct.
Which is the point of the practice
That's
drill.
the whole point of it. There you go.
I mean, what a powerhouse of a story that is. A proven winner on tour, so it has your attention. Can demonstrate, as the other two can, but can demonstrate knowing that he's won money playing golf. But then also a demeanor that he could have come in there, he's the man. He is the man. He's one of the best short gamers alive today. He's proven it on tour. He has a method that is different from a Deminsky, but he doesn't overpower you with it. He simply demonstrates how he does it. He has a method if you follow, and we put a lot into those lessons, a lot of questions, but if you follow the way he does it, and I won't quote it too much without you seeing, but taking the accelerator out, getting more body turn, having that shallow chip and run onto the green. Let's work on your feels there before we move to the head passing the hand and adding the higher, softer shot, before we move on to, this is the technique I use with Anna Norquist out of the traps. These are the things I do with Keith Mitchell when it comes to the chip out of the rough. and then just so generous with his time. Left you with a feeling that the coach isn't there looking at their watch. The coach doesn't want you to move on. The coach wants you to improve. And that would be one of the other key takeaways from this. If you've got a coach that is literally charging you as if they're a lawyer by the minute, that's not what you want. You want someone that's in your camp, on your journey, wanting you to improve. This is your time. Yes, you can film that video. Yes, I'll stand myself up against the data that you keep. If you have more questions, ask them. Yes, contact me afterwards and I'll help you on this journey. I think golf coaching now and the way things have gone today, with the data products that are out there, with the way in which we can analyze everything, I think it's crucial that your coach goes on that development and growth journey with you, the player.
Holy cow.
How good's that?
That was awesome.
And they take responsibility for your improvement as much as you do. I still study those 3 lessons today. Less is more. Martin Chuck pretty much instilled that into the thinking for the last 12 months, which is why I've tended to continue on the path I've gone with the coach that I work with that we've never done a YouTube video with, which deserves a shout out, which is Mark Ramsdale. I'll put his Instagram in here as well. He saw all of these lessons. He helps me remotely, loved them all. But the short gaming stuff that was a real deep dive into technique that I needed was there for me and has been there as a revisit.
Your only job with this shot right now, I want to see you hit this thing as high as you possibly can, and it's got to land somewhere close to the flag. Like it's not going to land on the back of the green. Okay.
That was good. That was good. That was good. You said somewhere near the flag. That was short of it. I was like, I'm going to get short of this thing. So record your golf lessons if you can. Now's the time of year to go on this technique journey. I'm even asking myself, what do I need to do to improve for next year? Is it more technique or is it more playing the game? Lean on your coaches for that too. And then keep on top of it. And remember that when you've got these coaches telling you can do it, they're showing you how to do it. They're walking you through it. They might be PGA Tour winners, PGA Tour teachers, or guys who've created businesses and taught on tour. I mean, that for me is something I must look for. If someone's got a social media platform, they've done it on the tour, you know their information, and they can demonstrate potentially, you know their information is good stuff because it's relevant, it's current, and it's taking the best players forward. That is something I think you should look for in yourself, which is why all 3 of those guys are people that I went to see purely out of respect, and I've managed to stay in touch with them still to this point. And if I've got questions, they're there for me. All things that you've got to put into your golf coach choices. So get after it. It's November. You can get better right now. Work on this hard. Make a plan. The off season's coming. Now's the time to lean in. And if you like what you're seeing on here, get in the comments. I'll answer the questions until the cows come home. I want you to be hitting the spring and having your club fitting stuff ready to go and turn up dialed at a place like what I'm looking at behind you, which we will reveal coming into the coming months. Subscribe as always. This is the best time of year to hammer out those technique things and get better for the 2026 season.